Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Dr. J.L. Johnson, your licensed nutritional doctor. And today, we're going to be talking about a subject that's very seldom talked about. We're going to be talking about so-called sickle cell anemia. And if you know someone with sickle cell anemia, or if you yourself have sickle cell anemia or the trait for sickle cell anemia, you really need to pay attention to the information that's in this book. It's revolutionary, and it really can help save so many, I believe, so many lives and so much suffering that's going on out there across the country and around the world for those people out there who are people of color who it appears that they have more of this kind of problem, need to really know this information that I'm bringing to you right now. And for those of you out there who don't know me, I'm Dr. J.L. Johnson. I'm a licensed nutritional herbal doctor. I'm licensed by the Board of Medicine. Also, I'm a master herbalist, trained in most of the herbologies in Chinese, Japanese, American. Also, with a PhD in nutrition and with over 41 years experience of helping people all across this country and in many other countries out there where we do business. And also I'm one of the world's leading herbal nutritional doctors, and that our company, the Aloe Man Incorporated, is also the largest African-American owned health product company and health product company there is in the world. So today, as I said, we're going to be talking about so-called sickle cell anemia. And I say so-called because I believe really that there's really no such thing as sickle cell anemia. I believe that there are cells in the body that can sickle, or actually the word should be non-solidified cells, and we'll get more into that so you'll learn about it. But these cells that we're talking about here, it's not sickle cell anemia. It's either sickle cell, which is one thing, and then anemia, which is a different thing, and we need to talk about both because they really don't, they can run together, but they're not the same thing. So we need to be aware of them. Now, I wrote this book many, many years ago. It's called, and you'll see this book here called, right here, Sickle Cell Anemia. And this booklet right here, I believe can help save the lives. The information that's in this book, incidentally, can help you to save the lives. So many people out there. I just had a person, a family, where the young lady was about 7 years old, and I'll talk about her. And she has been, they called me, and she had been suffering severely, severe pain all the time. She doesn't, and she was weak and all kinds of problems that's going on. And of course, you know, the transfusions when the blood get low, all of these things were going on. But in her case, she was in severe pain. And because of the coronavirus, many people like this right now are being told not to come into the hospital. But they had her on one of these really strong pain killers like Oxycontin, if you know what I'm saying. That's one of the really dangerous drugs and addictive drugs that anyone can take out there. So in order to try to help her with the pain. So let's talk about that first. So what is so-called sickle cell anemia? And so that you'll understand that. Sickle cell anemia, or sickle cell and then anemia. Sickle cell is when the cells in your body are coming out of the bone marrow in a sickle shape. And when it comes out in a sickle shape, it goes into the blood vessels. And as it travels through the blood vessels, because of the shape of it, because a normal red blood cell is totally round, completely round, when the blood cells come out in a sickle shape, when they go through the blood vessels, they cut the inside of the blood vessels or causes friction, which leads to inflammation in the arteries and veins, and as a result of that, it creates severe pain for those people who have it. So that's really what's going on. And that's normally where most of the pain come from. It's these blood cells flowing through the body. And then what these blood cells will do is they will clump up in certain areas. So the person can be in pain today in the arms. Tomorrow it can be in the legs. The next day it can be in the back. Or it can clump up in one of the organs and you can have organ failure. So that's in a nutshell. And as a result of that, these blood cells that's coming out are not whole blood. So the body can't really use these kinds of blood cells. So they're waste. And then, of course, the other problem is that the person is making blood, but the blood that's coming out is not solidified or whole blood cells. You understand? I want you to understand that. Once you understand that, you'll understand sickle cell anemia. And then when you understand it, then you can do something about it. Because there's two things that you really got to know in order to help this particular problem. So we know that these blood cells are coming out of the bone marrow in a sickle shape or an oblong shape or whatever. There's normally, but it's not coming out like a whole blood cell. So that's where the problem lies, right there. Now, in order to stop that problem, you've got to fix the whole system. And how do you fix the whole system? Well, I'm going to explain it in a way where you can understand it. So I want you to think about making a cake, okay? When you make, and incidentally, making blood is like making a cake. So when you make a cake, you got to have eggs, right? You got to have flour. You got to have butter. You got to have baking powder, maybe. You got to have all the ingredients to make a cake. That's the first thing. And then the second thing is that when you mix all of that up and then you put it into an oven, you got to have the right temperature in that oven. Because if you put that cake in an oven that's too hot or too cold, then that cake is not going to come out right. It's either going to burn, it's going to be lopsided, it's not going to rise, or whatever it is, the cake is not going to come out right. Well, making blood is the same way. I want you to look at your bone marrow as the oven. That's your bone marrow is the oven. Now, the ingredients that you need to make blood is the same as in a sense. I'm giving you an analogy how to make blood. So in order to make blood, you've got to have vitamin C, all vitamin C. You don't need to have just folic acid as most of the people with sickle cell anemia is being told that they just need folic acid. Please don't do that, because all of the beads must go into the body. It's trying to put a round peg into a square hole if you don't get all of the B vitamins at one time. So you need all of them, B1, B2, B3, folic acid. All of them should be in a B complex. So remember, in my opinion, you should not take folic acid alone, and never take large amounts of folic acid, because it can do damage to your body, contrary to what you've been told. And I know this was what you're being told. So you want to get B complex. So you need vitamin C, and a good vitamin C, a real vitamin C with bioflavonoids. You need B complex, right? You need natural iron. Now, most of the time, sickle cell anemia people are given artificial iron, and the body cannot use artificial iron. It does not assimilate artificial iron. So you need natural iron from a natural source. And one of the best sources there is, write this down, is from wheatgrass. Yes, wheatgrass. And you can buy it directly from us. Now, the next thing is you got to have all the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients necessary to make blood. So when you put them all together, then you take that mixture that you need to have in your body, and then you send that to your bone marrow, which is the oven, and the oven has to be the right temperature. Remember, so you send that to the oven, and if you put in the right ingredients, and the oven is the right temperature, then your body will make whole blood cells instead of making so-called sickle-shaped blood cells, oblong blood cells. I mean, blood cells can come out in there's about six different shapes, and I talk about it in the book. So it's not just sickle cells, it's all different kinds of shape. And that's also including leukemia, where the blood cells are not solidified also. So so you see how it works? So you take this cake, all of the ingredients, the vitamin C, the B. So in other words, if you have sickle cell anemia, you've got to be taking vitamin C, B complex, wheatgrass, and you must have all of the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients. And therefore, you must be taking our product called the Body Healer, which is right here. They just give you all the vitamins, potassium, magnesium, manganese, all 7 different kinds of calcium, 9 different kinds of potassium, all in here. And this can help you give your body what it needs and make it bioavailable to the body. And the body takes what it needs and it makes blood. You see, that's how it works. But if you don't do that, then you can't make blood. So that means that the blood that's coming out of the blood cell, now once you put it into the oven, now those blood cells are going to come out whole, all round, instead of being oblong shaped. Now when that blood cells enter the blood system, enter the veins and the arteries to be and to be sent throughout the whole body, now there are whole blood cells. You don't get the clumping up of the blood, and you don't get the pain that's associated with the sickle cell, so to speak, is going through the arteries. You understand? That's how it works. That's sickle cell anemia. Now you also need one other thing. You got to make sure in order to make blood, you got to need vitamin D. So any person that has sickle cell anemia, or if you have sickle cell trait, you need to spend a considerable amount of time in the sun every day. You should be spending at least 10 minutes in the sun to make vitamin D on your skin and expose a good amount of your body in a place where sunshine is coming into your home, or if you can lay outside, you want to get as much sunshine as you can, not to burn yourself, but to make vitamin D on the skin. Now, once we do that, then now we can get the person with sickle cell out of pain. Now we can make red blood cells. One other thing you got to do, you got to clean out all of those. You got to get rid of all of those old blood cells that the bone marrow is making every day. You got to get rid of them, and by doing that, you got to detox the blood in order to get rid of that old blood. So if you get rid of the old blood and then you're making new blood, then the person, any sickle cell person, then can live their life like a normal person. I believe that you can actually eliminate crisis, eliminate pain, eliminate the anemia by doing this. Yes, you can. So what we do here is we develop health programs for those, because everybody is different. But the major thing is that there's you have to put yourself on a 4-step program. 4 things that you've got to do. Write it down. Number 1, you got to change your diet drastically. Number 2, you've got to make blood. And so therefore you need all the ingredients to make blood. Number 2, you've got to detox the blood. That's number 3. You got to detox the blood. And then you got to make sure that your circulation is working and everything else is working. They help get rid of pain. So you need good vitamin C will normally help you to get rid of pain. If you're taking like 3,000 milligrams, you need to take at least 3,000 milligrams in most cases to stop pain. And you could do this 3 times a day for a short period of time, less than a month, and make sure your pain really should be gone. So you don't have to live with sickle cell anemia. You don't have to die prematurely. You don't have to have crisis. You don't have to end up in the hospital every weekend if you get on this program. One of the major problems that we have with people with sickle cell anemia is they eat too much junk food. You got to eat real foods in order to make blood, and you got to stay away from the 8 most dangerous foods that I talk about. You have to stay away from the white sugar, the white flour, the sodas, the coffee, the tea. One soda will put you in pain for 3 days. 3 days. You'll never get out of pain if you're putting in these acid foods. If you're putting in acid foods that create inflammation, Inflammation creates pain, and that's the way it works. So now I want you to get a copy of this book right here. But if you're watching this thing right now, this book normally sells for $27.95, but you can get the book right now for only $5 for anybody out there, because I want to really help those people out there with sickle cell anemia. I mean, for years and years and years, there's no information that's coming forth, that yet this information has been available for years and years. I wrote this book I wrote this book. The first time I wrote the book was in 2006, and the information has been available since 2006. I have revised it in 2010, and I revised it in 2019 also. So all of the new information in there is being updated, so you don't have to suffer. You don't have to die prematurely. You don't have to have all of these transfusions that you're getting. You don't have to end up in the hospital all the time. And especially, you don't have to live in pain. Call me. Let me develop a health program for you to get you back on. Let me be your counselor, and I can counsel you and the family to show you how yourself or your family members don't have to live with this kind of thing, with this kind of sickle cell. It's a tragedy out there of the many people who are suffering all the time because they don't know what I just told you in this video. And you need more. There's more information in this book, and it gives you the whole story in there and answers your question. So I want you to call me personally at 305-778-0970, and I will get you a copy of the book for only $5. $5, that's all, just for the shipping. The book is absolutely free, but you pay for the shipping, and that's basically what it is. So call me at 305-778-0970, or call my office at 1-800-603-4460. It's right on the screen there. I want you to call and get this information. Stop suffering. And please, anyone you know, share this video with them. Call them up. Let them know, because our children are suffering severely with this kind of problem, and they should not be if you get a hold of this and begin to do the right thing. Incidentally, the young lady that we talked about, within one day, she was almost out of pain. She slept the first night that she took the package. She slept better. Her mother said she had slept better than she had seen her sleep in months and months. By the third day, all of her pain was gone. All of her pain was gone, and now she walks around like a normal little 6-7-year-old girl. So there is help out there. Of course, we make no claims for this, for no medical claims at all. And of course, we give you the information that you need in order to help yourself and your family. And it looks like we're coming to a close of Health Talk again today. But as always, we give praise to Almighty God. We hope that you praise Him, and we say, God bless you all.